Let's talk about something that affects every single one of us, our mental health. We all go through tough times, but sometimes those tough times turn into something more serious. Recognizing the signs that you're struggling is the first step towards getting back on track. We're going to dive deep into 5 common signs: changes in behavior, physical symptoms, difficulty concentrating, increased stress and anxiety, and thoughts of self-harm or suicide. You've got to be honest with yourself. Are you really okay? Let's find out. First things first, you've got to be aware of any changes in your behavior. Are you suddenly snapping at people even over little things? Have you lost interest in things you used to love? Maybe you're isolating yourself. These changes can be subtle, but they're often the first sign that something's off. If you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed, it's going to show up in how you act. Don't brush these changes off as just a phase. Talk to someone you trust, someone who can support you. Asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a sign of strength. Your mind and body are connected. What affects one affects the other. If you're struggling mentally, your body's going to let you know. We're talking about unexplained headaches, constant fatigue, that feeling of being physically and emotionally drained. Maybe you've lost your appetite or you're overeating. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, tossing and turning all night. These physical symptoms are your body's way of sounding the alarm. Talk to your doctor, rule out any underlying medical conditions, and be open about what's going on in your life. You deserve to feel your best, both physically and mentally. Chapter 3. Can't focus. Difficulty concentrating. Let's talk about focus or lack thereof. We all have those days where our minds wander, but if you're constantly struggling to concentrate, it could be a sign of something deeper. Maybe you're having trouble remembering things, making decisions, or just following along with a conversation. You feel scattered, overwhelmed, like your brain's in a fog. Difficulty concentrating can be a sign of anxiety, depression, or other mental health challenges. If you're feeling mentally exhausted and can't seem to focus, don't beat yourself up. Talk to a mental health professional. Chapter 4. Drowning in stress and anxiety. A little bit of stress is normal, even healthy. But when stress becomes chronic, it starts to take a toll on our mental health. You know the feeling, that knot in your stomach, the racing heart, the inability to shut off your thoughts. Anxiety can manifest in different ways: panic attacks, phobias, social anxiety. The good news is there are healthy ways to manage stress and anxiety. Mindfulness techniques, deep breathing exercises, regular physical activity. These are just a few tools that can help you regain control. Reach out for support, whether it's from a therapist, a support group, or a trusted friend or family member. You don't have to go through this alone. Chapter 5. The toughest conversation: thoughts of self-harm or suicide. This is a tough one, but we need to talk about it. Thoughts of self-harm or suicide are serious, and they should never be ignored. These thoughts are a sign of extreme emotional pain and a desperate cry for help. If you're having these thoughts, please know that you're not alone and there is hope. Reach out for help immediately. Talk to a mental health professional, call a suicide prevention hotline, or go to the emergency room. There's no shame in asking for help, especially when it comes to something as serious as this. Your life is precious, and you deserve to experience joy, love, and fulfillment. We've covered a lot of ground today, but the message is simple. Your mental health matters. We talked about the importance of recognizing the signs that you might be struggling: changes in behavior, physical symptoms, difficulty concentrating, increased stress and anxiety, and thoughts of self-harm or suicide. Remember, you're not weak for struggling, and asking for help is a sign of strength. Take care of your mental health just like you would your physical health. There are resources available to support you on your journey to mental well-being.